All right, welcome back. So today we're diving into something really interesting, a real paradox right at the heart of the tech world. It's a story about some pretty fierce rivalries, but also about how one company's massive ambition could end up being an incredible gift to its biggest competitors.
I mean, it sounds completely backward, doesn't it? Companies pour billions and billions of dollars into research and development to get ahead, not to give their opponents a leg up. But as we're going to see, in this hyper-connected world of big tech, the lines between being a competitor and a collaborator can get really, really blurry. So at the heart of all this, you've got the titans of our modern economy, what people are calling the Magnificent Seven. These are the companies that basically shape our digital lives, and believe me, they are locked in a non-stop battle for your money, for the smartest employees, and for your attention. And it's pretty wild when you see them all lined up like this, right? You've got your usual suspects: Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Netflix. They make our devices, they run our social lives, they stream our movies. And then you have Tesla. On paper, it's a car company. But what Tesla's building could completely change the game for every other name on this list.
Yup. Even though they're all fighting for the same piece of the pie, one of them is pioneering something that doesn't just shake up its own industry, it actually creates a giant new opportunity that its biggest rivals are perfectly positioned to grab. And that company is, you guessed it, Tesla.
Okay, so to really get this, you have to look at Tesla's big bet, full self-driving, or FSD. And the key here, the real key, is to stop thinking about it as just a cool car feature. No, Tesla's playing a much bigger game. They're not just building a car that drives itself, they're basically building a time machine. The end game here is, well, to completely free us up from the chore of driving. The idea is to use all these cameras and super smart AI to just handle it. And when that happens, what do we get back? The one thing we can never make more of: our time. So just how much time are we talking about here? Well, our sources boil it down to one huge number: 3. Yeah, 3 hours. An average of 3 extra hours a day for every single commuter. That is a massive chunk of our day that's usually just gone, wasted, staring at traffic. FSD promises to unlock all of that time and just hand it back to us. And that is the multi-trillion-dollar question. What happens to all that newfound free time? It's not just going to be empty space, right? People aren't going to just stare at the ceiling. So where does all that human attention go? Well, that time instantly becomes the most valuable new territory in the digital world. It's a whole new market. Think about it: a captive audience for hours a day, just waiting to be entertained, to be productive, or to connect with people. So who's already lined up, ready to jump in and fill that space? Well, look at the list. You want to watch a movie? Netflix. Catch up with friends? Meta. Do some shopping? Amazon's right there. Need to work? Microsoft. Search for something? Google. Listen to some tunes? Apple. All of a sudden, the car isn't just a car anymore. It's your living room, your office, your mall, all on wheels. And here's the absolute core of it. Tesla is doing the incredibly hard, crazy expensive work of creating this new time. But it's the other tech giants whose entire business models are already perfectly tuned to capture and cash in on that time. They are literally built to monetize our attention. You know, there's actually a word for this. It's called co-opetition. It's this weird situation where companies are rivals and partners at the exact same time. They're battling it out, but one company's big win actually expands the entire game for everyone involved. So you can see it right here. On the one hand, yeah, they're in a dogfight for money, for customers, for the best engineers. But on the other hand, there's this weirdly helpful relationship going on. Tesla's FSD creates a whole new market for our attention, and the other M7 companies are perfectly built to scoop it all up. It's like a rising tide that lifts all their giant boats. And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. They compete while helping each other, solidifying their platform's dominance. This isn't a bug, it's a feature of their world. By making the whole digital economy bigger, they all get stronger together, and it makes it that much harder for anyone new to break in. Okay, so what does this all mean? What's the big investment insight here? Why should we care about this strange, symbiotic thing they've got going on? Because it really changes how you have to think about their future growth. Look, Tesla finally cracking full self-driving isn't a scenario where Tesla wins and everyone else loses. Not at all. In fact, it might just be the thing that kicks off the next huge wave of growth for all of them.
One company's success becomes the fuel for everyone else's.
And so, when you look at it from an investment angle, the source material basically says you're not really looking at 7 totally separate companies. You're looking at one massive interconnected ecosystem. A bet on one is, in a way, a bet on all of them continuing to rule the digital world together.
Which leaves us with one final question to think about. In a world this connected, where everything is an ecosystem, can any huge innovation really just belong to its creator? Or does every giant leap forward just end up pulling the whole pack along with it? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.